Welcome to 30 Minute Reviews. I'm Adam.
I'm, I'm Josie
I'm back.
Yep.
from outer space.
Okay.
From Seattle.
Similar concept.
I'm back.
I was gonna sing the song, but
Yes, okay, thank you. So,
Hello,
yes.
boys. I'm home. Get it?
Yes. Yeah, we get it. Have we
don't be
pushed
so
back?
grumpy.
Have we pushed
Yeah.
past that?
No,
Okay, you can continue doing that while I get these websites loaded. You can continue
but you're not prepared.
No, I am prepared. It's just the website
Gay.
won't load.
Way to
Gay
suck.
championships for suckingdick.com.
Well then. So yeah, let's see.
You should buy that domain.
Why?
Because think about it. Think about how many people will search that, and then you go to that, and
No one will search that.
The podcast.
Who's gonna go and search that?
I'm sure that's already taken.
Try to go on the website.
What
Google
is
it. See if it is.
Champion. Does that say championship or just champion?
You just heard champion.
Gay champion for dick sucking.com. It's not a real website.
It'd be hilarious if we
It's
get some poor guy from what's it called? From Iowa who got into an argument with his friend and he's just like, this guy is a champion at sucking dick.
I would really respect that.
Yeah. So let's see. We do have we're gonna do a little bit of preview for San Diego Comic-Con, which is gonna be happening the week of our next show, which is for Batman v Superman, the director's cut. We usually don't do director's cuts, and we're doing 2 in a row.
This director's cut, I feel like it helps a little bit, but I've only seen a director's cut. That's what I found out when I watched it this time.
Oh no, I've never seen a director's cut before I saw it here.
Because the scenes that they were when you said that, the things you told me that the director's cut revealed, I was like, I think I already know that. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is the only version I've ever seen of this movie.
I don't think so, because the version I had on DVD was not the director's cut.
Well, I've seen it without you. I'm sorry.
True, okay. Well, no, last year we watched it, and I had it on DVD. I didn't have the director's cut last year.
Well, I've seen it. I've seen it the one time I watched it. It was not that time, but
Okay.
I've seen it other times, the director's cut.
Okay. So,
We're not doing that now, right?
No, we're gonna do that after. Let's get the 2 brief news stories out of the way, and then we'll go into the 2 bigger stories from last week. 2 quick stories. Tom Felton, who you may know from Harry Potter, as Draco Malfoy, will be a series regular on season 3 of The Flash.
Oh my gosh, that's extremely exciting.
Yes. I can't tell if that was sarcasm or not.
No, he's hot.
I still don't know if it's sarcasm or not.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like you're just like, oh wow, cool.
No, really, I'm excited. I hope he takes his shirt off.
I don't think he will. He's playing another.
I don't know. It's on the WB.
Oh, I bet he's a villain.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's on the CW. Sorry, it hasn't been the WB in like 10 years.
Probably closer to 15. Looking it up.
Just aged myself.
Aged
WB
yourself?
Become
Yep.
CW. Let's see. That buyout happened in. We'll get back to that. And then the other big story was we saw the first official reveal of Spider-Man's costume in Spider-Man Homecoming. And that was January 24th, 2016, when the WB became CW. So,
What
9
year?
years ago. 2006.
Okay.
So 9 years ago.
I was in middle school.
Oh no, 10 years ago. It's not 2015 anymore.
You wouldn't have been in middle school.
Yeah.
In 2006,
What grade did
grade.
your middle school?
Whoops, sorry.
You said 2006?
Yeah, I
Yep,
was in 6th grade.
that's middle school.
Okay. Yeah,
It depends.
oh, sorry.
My middle school went from 6th to 8th grade, but some elementary school goes from 1st to 6th grade.
Yeah, 1 to 6, and then, or K to 6, and then 7, 8 is like junior high, and then
Yeah, I don't get that. It's like, why even have a school for that?
yeah. Then there is the other big story with Spider-Man's costume, which is identical to the costume in Civil War. So if you like the Civil War costume, you will like the Homecoming costume, unless you're Peter, who hated the Civil War costume but loves the Homecoming costume.
Yep.
They're identical.
Well, no, the one is CGI.
Did you know there wasn't even a stand-in of someone playing Spider-Man in a green suit in Civil War?
You could tell.
Like it's
CGI.
entirely CG.
You could tell.
Okay.
Um,
They actually did have a giant in a green screen suit as a CG stand-in for Giant Man. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the guy who played the BFG.
Yep. Which, by the way, do you want to talk about The Purge being that well received right now?
Yes,
that bothers me a little bit.
That goes along with my continuing critique of critics, I guess.
Yeah.
Since we saw Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in the. I'll just say it again. I do not believe there's a conspiracy. Like some people are saying. I'm just saying that just the system of critics is broken.
Okay, so yesterday I was a little bit enraged about the Purge election year's critical reception being a 75. To be fair, I checked on my phone and it didn't tell me out of how many reviews. Now it's at 54. That makes a lot more sense.
I feel like that's still too high.
Yeah. But here's the thing with the Purge. The thing is, too, Independence Day Resurgence has a 32. And that movie was amazing. And that's not even me like being sarcastic or anything. That was a great movie. The Purge election year, I don't believe can be a good sequel because The Purge was not a good movie.
It's the third one.
Yeah. Anarchy wasn't good either.
No, I don't even know why does it have to be called Purge Anarchy. It's not, was the other Purge regulated?
Well, the I think the reason is the first Purge was like there's someone in the house. Like that's why the Purge worked in the first one. It was what little it did work. It was a movie about like you're in the house and there are people in your house and you're just trying to survive. But because you're stuck in one room, you can't see what's going on around you. So
yeah.
It's a horror suspense then.
Yeah,
then
and at that point, it wasn't so much about the Purge and like what the Purge was. It was more about this is a thing. How scary would that be?
It's like Paranormal Activity, except I don't know. No, it's exactly like Paranormal Activity. Like it's exactly like Paranormal Activity because like what's it called?
Except things happen in this movie.
Yeah. But then the second one, they kind of go out into the street, and that's a survival movie, kind of like the zombies. Like any zombie movie where it's like a group of people out in the street trying to survive. Like, and that's what Anarchy is. This one's a continuation of that. But it takes place with weird time jumps over 3 different year purges.
Really?
That's really dumb.
Or at least 2 different year purges. I think I read 3 in one review. I have no intention of seeing this movie. Just for the record.
I'll probably watch it just to like
no
watch it because it's free.
Oh no, I won't even dignify it with the rating, like of having me watch it.
Yeah, there's too many other things for me to watch to waste my time with that.
Exactly. But yeah, and then the other thing is, yesterday when I checked, it was beating the BFG, which I didn't think a day would come when a dumb like threequel to The Purge will be beating out a Steven Spielberg directed Roald Dahl adaptation starring last year's Best Supporting Actor winner.
I want to see The Shallows.
What's that one?
It's a shark one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that the one with the girl on the
rock
buoy? On the buoy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's also on the buoy.
Central Intelligence is also getting very good reviews, or moderately good reviews, which is all you can ask for. Yeah, it looks funny, at least. And I
saw Finding Dory. It was really good.
I do have to see Finding Dory still.
Was funny.
But I did see Independence Day Resurgence, and that was
Me too.
that was a experience.
Was it a tour of the force?
No, but it wasn't like that. No, it's like I laughed, I cried, it became a part of me. But like,
That's
it
the
was
first Independence Day.
yes, but no, this movie was still good, like passable. Not as some reviews said like it shits all over the original and makes the original worse. Like no.
That's what every time I watch the first Independence Day, I think I'm like, oh, like it's gonna seem really dated and I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But then I still love it.
Exactly. Every time, like I've never watched this movie and be like, oh come on. Like,
Are we talking about Independence Day now?
Sure. Let's go into Independence Day now.
Right.
We had us organically like flowed into it. Might as well just continue.
That was good. That was a very good segue.
Yeah.
I think it's a weird disaster movie too.
Yeah.
Because almost all the disaster happens all at once, and then there's no other disaster really after it.
Well,
and
that
the
happens.
rest of it is about.
That happens in the big three, the big. The big four now at this point. Roland Emmerich disaster movies. Day After Tomorrow, 2012, and this one. And then
No, not Day
Resurgence.
After. No, because Day After Tomorrow in 2012, there's like two big events, but then there's continuing disasters happening afterwards.
Yeah, but then that happens in this one too, where it's like they accidentally destroy Houston with a nuke.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
And it's like the alien ship gets blown up, which it's still disaster porn, even if it's not humans being killed.
I love it.
Like,
I love all of it.
And the thing is too, the CG isn't dated. I mean, granted, it could have just been that I was watching an updated special edition that made they made the CG better, maybe, but they also did a good mix of practical effects too.
Oh, and there's two people from Donnie Darko in this movie.
Who?
One is the First Lady.
Right.
She's Donnie's mom, who's also the president in Battlestar Galactica. Yep. So she fights the aliens on both fronts. And then the other one is the stepson is Frank.
Oh, yeah.
And he is one of the worst actors that has ever lived.
Oh my god, yeah, he is. He is awful in this movie. By the way, he's not Randy Quaid's son. He's his stepson.
Half of his lines are, "What are you doing?" That's all he says the entire movie. He's so bad.
He's like a Keanu Reeves if he couldn't act.
Yes, at least Keanu Reeves can act in specific situations.
Yes,
like,
John Wick, The Matrix.
When he doesn't have to when he has to be straight faced. But this kid cannot at all. It was like really sad.
What was she doing laying in the middle of the road?
Yeah, it's stuff like that. And then the stupid sick kid is annoying too when he smashes his medicine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like thank you.
But that was a good scene.
But yeah, like this movie does a very good job of showcasing what you came to see, which is the disaster, and do a very good job of building to it. Which
it's sad when the president's wife dies.
Yeah. Bill Pullman overacts this entire movie, by the way. I know they pointed.
He changes his voice too. Like he makes his voice so much more gravelly, like on purpose. I think
they pointed it out.
Who's that?
He's the president.
The president, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They pointed it out in the Honest trailer, where it's like he Shatnerized the entire role with the awkward pacing of the way he speaks.
Yeah, actually, I have a principal that my high school principal spoke just like that.
With a weird cadence, like okay,
yeah,
great.
Like he even said the Pledge of Allegiance like that. It was really confusing. Yeah, Whitmore, that's his name.
Yeah, President Pullman, and he also played a president in a sitcom on NBC that no one likes to talk about, 1600 Penn.
And the first lady was Phoebe from Friends, I think.
Nope, she was on another
Dharma,
show.
From Dharma and Greg.
Yes.
Dharma from Dharma and Greg, yeah.
Yes, that was the other show she was on.
Josh
Gad was the son.
Josh Gad what?
Josh Gad was the son on that show.
Oh.
Went on to play Olaf on...
There's something I don't get about Independence Day.
Okay.
Why is it...
This movie has a airtight plot. Let's hear what this is.
No, this isn't even about the plot. Why is the abbreviation ID4?
Oh, that was the code name. Because what happened was when they were going to make the movie, they wanted to call it Independence Day, but there already existed a movie that came out in like 1986 or something like that called Independence Day. So they had to get the rights. So all through promotion and everything, they just referred to it as ID4. Why? I don't know. But that was the code name they used. Yeah, I get. Oh yeah, that would do it. Yeah.
But so it's so dumb.
But like it's billed that way. I think it's because like even if you buy at this point it's called Live Die Repeat. But if you buy Edge of Tomorrow, they changed the name, but it still says Edge of Tomorrow on it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why. Or it's a similar thing to that. What's it called? All the characters are stereotypes in this movie, by the way.
Yes.
Which is a proud tradition of the campy science fiction movie, is that every character has an archetype, and every character lives to that archetype exactly.
Yeah, because it's even, like, Jeff Goldblum, his character in this is, like, completely different than his scientist character in Jurassic Park.
Right.
Like, I know a lot of people try to say Jeff Goldblum, but it's completely different.
And by the way, do you know that at the end, when they're escaping the alien ship...
He says, "Must go fast."
Yes. That was not in the script. That was Jeff Goldblum ad-libbing.
I loved it, because it was like a little Jurassic Park shout-out.
Yeah, that literally is the entire point of that line, is it is a throwback to Jurassic Park.
Us Jurassic Parkers caught it right away. That's what we call ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We get to see Randy Quaid before he goes completely insane and moves to Canada. If he comes to the United States, he'll get arrested.
Yeah. What is he wanted for?
I think destruction of property, because he destroyed some a rental property and then fled to Canada or something like that.
Why wouldn't he just pay the fine and be done with it?
Because he has no money. He literally has zero money.
True.
Even though in the 90s he was a powerhouse actor in the 90s, he had hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's true.
It was crazy. I also have other theories about why there's that weird dramatic part about Will Smith not liking that his girlfriend's a stripper. And he was going to break up with her because she's a stripper.
I don't remember that in the movie at all. I don't remember him contemplating breaking up with her.
It's when he shows his retarded friend the engagement ring.
Yes.
And then he's like, "I thought you were going to break it off with her." And he's like, "You could never be an astronaut if you're married to a stripper."
Yes.
And then he's just like, "I love her anyway." And then, what I don't get is he's an active duty captain in the Marines, I believe, or in the Air Force or Marines.
No, he's a Marine who happens to fly a plane.
That's it. Okay.
And he keeps referring to himself as Captain Stephen Hiller Marines.
So I feel like he would have enough money where his girlfriend would not have to be a stripper.
Yeah, that's a fair point as well. Maybe he gets off on it.
That's what. No, I think it's because her name is Jasmine. So she just
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it's like if you named your child Jasmine, it's just like you want her to be a stripper.
Yeah.
So I think that's her. If she doesn't do that, then she'll just die.
What other theories? Do you have any more theories written down?
That his friend is a racist retard. His friend that's also.
Oh yeah, he does the speech in the Martin Luther King voice.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is happening?" And it doesn't even. He just sounds like it's literally just like a retarded kid talking.
Yeah.
And then every time he does something, they're like, "No, don't do that," and he dies.
Yeah.
He's like, the aliens are right behind him. He's like, I'm gonna bank. And Wilson's like, "No, you can't do that." And he's like, "I'm doing it," and he dies.
Yeah.
He turns too fast in a plane. How does that even happen?
Speaking of which, actually, this movie has a lot of parallels to Star Wars. I don't know if anyone else caught that, but Roland Emmerich said in an interview once, this movie does have a lot of callbacks to the original trilogy of Star Wars.
I wasn't trying to look, but I trust you.
Because, what's it called? The scene where the best friend dies is similar to when Biggs dies in Episode 4. The room in Area 51, where they're coordinating the assault from, during the battle, is similar to the room on Yavin 4. They even had that big map thing in the back. There were a few others too. The escape from the mothership is modeled after the escape from the second Death Star in the Millennium Falcon, where they're going through the tunnel and being chased by the TIE fighters, and getting out just in time before it blows up. There was a few other things too. I would say the concept of having a very small weak point they gotta hit too with a missile is similar, but that's kind of common at this point. It's just a common trope of a lot of science fiction now. I don't know if that'd be considered being Star Wars or not.
I don't think so.
Did you have any more theories?
I do. Well, I have questions. Oh, there's one part where after he ejects and him and the alien crash,
right?
You can really obvious that it was just a dummy tied to a parachute that they dropped,
yes.
because it lands straight on its legs, like in a standing position. So like if an actual person did that, they would have like shattered their kneecaps.
Yes.
And then the other ones right after that is like, why is the alien so weak that he could punch it out when it's in its like armor?
Yeah, that was the other thing. That the alien is in the body armor at that point,
and he punches it so hard it gets knocked out.
Well, they wanted a joke.
And then continuing with that is that I don't know what happens in Independence Day Resurgence, but that doctor is fucking dead in this movie.
Who, Data?
Yeah, because the alien strangles him, and then Adam Baldwin runs over and checks his pulse and shakes his head no, and he's like laying there with his tongue out.
That's the crazy guy, right?
Yeah. The cool scientist?
Yes.
I like him.
He played Data in Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yes, he's also the bad guy in Master of Disguise. He farts whenever he laughs.
Nice.
And then my final theory is the real reason why Will Smith would not come back for Independence Day Resurgence.
Okay.
And it's because in the 90s, Will Smith had a very active, I say in quotes, hip-hop career. And
no, it was active. Not good, it was active.
Yeah. Basically, every movie Will Smith was in, he would make a rap for, but Independence Day does not have one. Yep. So I think Roland Emmerich would not allow him to make a hip-hop song for Independence Day, so he held a grudge for this long, and that's why he will not be coming back for Independence Day Resurgence. And then so Roland Emmerich killed him off on an extra internet website for the movie.
Yep. I think I've heard two different theories about why he didn't come back.
I have one more question. In the new movie, it's Will Smith's son.
Yes.
That's not his son in the first movie. It's a stepson.
Maybe. Oh. Huh. I don't think he.
I don't know.
He was so little. It could also be he just treated him like a dad.
Yeah, and because the thing is, he was like 3 or 4 in that movie, and then he died in what 90 or in the continuity he died in like the 2000s, I assume.
Yeah, because he died, and he didn't even die doing anything. He died in a test flight.
My question is, who lets a war hero like that test pilot a plane?
Well, he's the only one that can fly the spaceship, even though he's never had any experience flying in space.
But what was there are two. I've heard two conflicting theories about why Will Smith wasn't in this movie. Number one is scheduling conflict with Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Where he couldn't do both because Suicide Squad won out because they offered him more money and franchising opportunities. The second theory was he was going to do either this or After Earth, and he put his money in the wrong spot again, like when he turned down The Matrix.
Really, a movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan with Jaden Smith wasn't good.
He was offered a role in The Matrix, and he declined it.
So did Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean Connery turned down the role of Gandalf because he couldn't understand it.
I think that's why he also turned down the role in the. I think he was playing Lawrence Fishburne's character. And
I think that if he tried to think about it, think about The Matrix, his head would probably explode if Gandalf was too complicated for him. Because Gandalf is not complicated.
Okay. I just read it. Roland Emmerich said that Will Smith is afraid of making any more science fiction movies after Earth.
That makes sense.
It's because of After Earth.
That makes sense. Okay, I see that. This movie, the sequel is not being received well critically or at the box office. You know what? It was beaten in its second week by Finding Dory. I think that was to be expected. But it opened against The Conjuring 2, I thought. And The Conjuring 2 got 7.7 million. And this one, of movies that opened this weekend, this one won out.
I'll go see it, so I'll help fix it.
I think that this weekend it might get a lot of views. Or a lot of money coming in for Independence Day weekend.
So I'm waiting for.
I could genuinely see that happening because America is stupid. Like, I can't see it now. It's not up yet, and that's why I think we have what's it called? Like, why we have so few views on the Independence Day Resurgence episodes. People are like, that movie's not out yet. But yeah, have we talked about how like nothing happens in the entire beginning of the movie? Like the beginning of the movie is kind of boring a little bit.
I don't know. I think I don't like how every time it changes locations.
Yes, there's like that weird like
the white flashes.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's like the wipes in Star Wars.
It's 100 times more annoying than the wipes in Star Wars and the giant letters in Civil War. But then I like the giant beginning. I think they do a good job introducing all the characters into different areas.
Yeah.
And like setting everyone up to die.
Basically, yeah. Oh, did you notice that the dumb friend of Vivica A. Fox, who went up on the roof, said her sign said like, "Welcome to Earth. What's ours is yours."
Oh.
Yep.
She's the reason that it all happened.
Yep. She destroyed the universe.
They're like vampires. They need to wait for someone to invite them, and then they just do it.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, I think everyone has seen this movie at some point, or at least some part of the movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not. I've never met anyone who outright hates this movie either. Like,
because it has the famous scene of the White House blowing up.
Yeah, and it was the first movie to really do that, too. There wasn't much, like, there was disaster porn before this, like the Poseidon Adventure and stuff like that.
Towering Inferno.
Right, but it wasn't a movie where here's stuff you know and you've seen in real life, and now we're gonna blow it up in a very dramatic fashion.
There's all 6 of the airports. Those are what the airplane movies make fun of. I think in the 3rd or 4th one, the airplane crashes into the ocean, and then the people have to survive in the airplane on the bottom of the ocean.
Nice.
What the fuck?
Because the airplane is also watertight.
That makes sense. Until it gets to the bottom of the ocean and it just, like, pressurizes. But yeah, I give the first Independence Day a solid 8.
Yeah, I agree. 8.
Because I think
I don't think I can rate it because I've only seen the second half.
I mean, here's the thing with this movie. This movie would be a 10 if you got rid of I'm not saying Will Smith was bad. I'm saying if you got rid of Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum and cast 2 B-list actors and put it on sci-fi, it'd be probably one of the best sci-fi original movies ever.
You think so?
I think the cast is what makes the movie, what's it called, a blockbuster. Like this movie has the plot, and like even like, all the weirdness and the campiness that you would see on a sci-fi original movie. Like,
I think it was just the inspiration.
It's a campy B movie with a big cast is what this movie is, and that's why it's so good. And you don't really get this anymore, with the exception of the sequel, and people hate it now. I don't understand why.
I think it's a really good disaster porn movie, and it was before we had too many of them, I guess. Yeah,
like last year we had San Andreas, and a few years ago we had Man of Steel, and then
wow.
So Winter Soldier, what's it called? What was that other one? Age of Ultron. I think you can technically all consider those disaster porn.
Yeah, it depends. Age of Ultron, they don't really destroy real countries.
That's true, yeah. Just Eastern European people.
That's like, I forget.
We don't have any Eastern European listeners, so I can say that. Without worrying about offending anyone. We have to start appealing to the Chinese market, though. We have a lot of Chinese listeners. So,
Can we? I don't know how to do that and not be racist.
I just found out.
Sorry.
Look at what they did in Independence Day Resurgence. They had one of the main characters was a Chinese girl who didn't speak any English. She was just kind of there with the Chinese flag emblazoned on the bottom of her plane.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But I think, like, Resurgence did a very good job with the disaster porn. This isn't going to spoil anything because it was in the trailer. Like, I think the iconic scene, like the White House blowing up, and the Empire State Building blowing up for the first one, I think the scene from Resurgence that's going to hit that point is going to be that tower from Dubai going through the London Eye.
Cool.
Oh. Okay.
Like that I think is going to be the equivalent.
Well, they also got like the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff, and
Yep.
And remember, the old guy goes, they like to hit the
How
landmarks.
dare you call Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, how do you call it Jeff
old
Goldblum?
guy?
When you said the old guy, I was thinking of, like, what's his name?
Isn't
Hirsch.
Judd Hirsch in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's definitely the old, because he was
Yeah.
the old guy in the first one.
Or even if you called
guy,
Bill
because he's
Pullman
like
the old guy, like,
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that.
The guy on the boat,
Yeah,
the
that's
super Jew.
Judd Hirsch. Okay, that's Judd Hirsch.
that's Judd Hirsch.
That's yeah. There. Oh wait, does 4chan call Independence Day part of the Jewish conspiracy? Because there's one really weird
I don't know,
scene
maybe.
in the first one where Jeff Goldblum his dad hands him like a computer or something, and then Jeff Goldblum hands his dad the Torah and a like yarmulke.
I did not see that. It could have been I got zoned out. I did not see that in the movie.
It was really fast, and I was like, "What's happening?" And they have a Jewish prayer circle.
True. Well, I understand why. I understand
"Oh."
why they had the Jewish prayer circles, because it's like you didn't have a Catholic or like a minister or anything going with them. There was no Catholic priest or minister.
Judd Hirsch is one of my favorite actors. He's always like really. He always just plays himself and everything,
Yeah.
but he's really good.
He's great in Resurgence. Like when we first see him. Do you want me to spoil what happens when we first see him?
Okay.
He's selling a book to an old age home, and the book's called "How I Saved the World."
He's really
that's
good on Maron too. He plays Mark Maron's dad.
But yeah, so let's move on to news from Justice League and Rogue One.
Wait, do you want to know a story that will make you question your entire life?
Sure.
Do you know House Hunters is a lie?
Explain.
Okay, these are 9 truths about House Hunters I just found. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, most of the high-pressure house hunting happens off-camera, and
Okay, that
before
makes
cameras
sense.
even get there. Okay, ready? Most of the people on House Hunters aren't accepted to the show until they close in a house already. And most of the houses they look at aren't even for sale. They're
Nice.
just people's friends' houses they like.
Huh.
Or people they don't like, I guess, so they can go into their house and tell them how horrible their house is.
That'd be a very passive-aggressive way of like this is shit. Like, whose idea was this?
So the prices they say are just random and pulled out of thin air.
Huh.
The filming takes place actually over months, not just like a weekend.
That you didn't
That
think
makes
that.
sense. But
There are multiple takes for each scene.
Okay.
So like when they react to things, they have to like the thing that says, "How
Whoa.
many times can you act surprised at the size of a walk-in closet?" That's like I couldn't be on House Hunters because I would just be like, "Oh, okay, this is nice." Like I don't really like this. I wouldn't be enthused enough or angry enough.
That guy in the houseboat episode must have had it rough.
that's
like-
funny.
There's not that much to look at in a house.
Yeah, it's like, wow. There's the
Or
back
maybe
of
it was easier because there was like less takes for each thing.
There is hope though.
Oh,
There's
God.
one last truth. All the realtors are real local agents.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So
That Geneseo one was weird then. The one with the one with the dickhole guy who was
maybe they're like they didn't take any other takes, so they're just like, this is gold.
That guy was such a dick. Like, oh my god. Like, that was the one where it's like the people who lived on campus in Geneseo.
Yeah, their lives were very sad.
Yeah. Then it's
I
like
watched
they.
that one again because I wanted to show my friends like how sad these people's lives were. And do you want to know something even worse about it?
What?
They weren't leaving because they wanted to. They were only leaving because the university was forcing them to.
Yes, I noticed that. Yeah, that was.
I didn't realize that the first time around until I watched it, and they're like, "Yeah, we have to leave because they're making us." And I was like, "What?"
Like,
And then
who
they, like,
opts to live?
And then they complain about having to live near college students. And I was like, what do you expect? You're living in a dorm and you're 40 years old.
Exactly.
It's like the RAs that had families that lived like on
the
campus.
RD who was like
the RD, and I was like, I hope you fuck you and your family.
You remember her from freshman year.
Speaking of fucking people's families, I need.
Cool.
That sounded a little
nice segue.
I'm segueing. I'm sorry. I need help from, a New Yorker and a New Jersey person. I don't know what else to call you. Sorry.
This is wallowing the territory. Like,
how the fuck do I tell my downstairs neighbor to turn off his fucking shitty music? Because his
what
bass
does that have
is so
to do with
loud.
fucking family?
Yeah.
Because I hate his fucking family and him.
Oh, okay. You guys said, speaking of fucking family, how do I tell? I'm like, is she like being raped by someone on a regular basis? Like, that's where it sounded like this was going.
Okay, that went way too far. Shh.
I think first go down and ask to turn their music down.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
The problem is that I've also heard them fighting, and he beats her.
Okay, then.
So I don't want to get hit.
I don't think he's gonna hit you.
Yeah.
Then you can.
Should I bring my machete down, or is that a little?
That's not a trip 1 thing. That's a trip like 3 thing.
Then I would say.
The problem is that
tell your landlord.
I've called I've called them, and they talked to him already, and it's so fucking loud that I have crystal wine glasses sitting on the counter.
Oh, well, someone's fancy.
No, my grandma gave them to me. Anyways, they ring because the bass is so loud.
Are there other tenants around you?
Yes, they are, but they're a bunch of pussy bitches.
Oh, get them to call your landlord too. Because if he gets multiple complaints...
I don't want to talk to my neighbors.
Do you want to hear the best way to handle this problem? If you hear him beating his wife, next time you hear that happen, you call the police.
Because when the police get called for that, they have to make an arrest.
They have to make an arrest for domestic abuse.
Well,
but you can be anonymous, so they will know you.
Just do an anonymous tip.
I called my super, and they probably should have done that. But I was like, hey, so this happened, and, she was, like, taunting him to hit her again. And I was like, so she fucking hit him, or he fucking hit her, so can you guys go, I can hear them. Can you go tell them to stop? And make sure nobody's
Someone's being murdered in the next apartment, and it's...
What if they call the police, and the police are just like, well, she asked him to. It's like a man who got stabbed. Quote, go ahead, stab me. Or what are you going to do, stab me?
It's like, what's it called? You're basically calling and saying, like, hi, someone's getting beaten in the apartment below me.
He goes, no, why? And then he goes, now you do.
I would just call the police yourself. And
next time you hear it, call the police, and then they'll come down and they'll have to, get rid of him. And then that might actually get him evicted from the building, or out of the building at least.
Or you can go down to the apartment and be like, if you bother me again, I'm going to light this whole building's going on fire.
Well, use your solution. Throw up on them. That'll solve the problem.
Issues. And plus, I come home late to an empty apartment, and, I have to walk near them. This guy could just fucking abduct me, or he could just come out and shiv me, because, okay, here's another question.
Oh, God.
Is it racist if he's black?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No.
It's not racist.
Up until this point, I had no assumption of his race.
Yeah, I assumed he was a hick white guy up until this point.
That's what I assumed also.
It's not an issue then? Nobody's gonna be like, oh, that fucking white bitch.
No one's gonna say that.
No one's gonna say, wow, screw her for calling the police on that guy beating his girlfriend.
But I kind of just want to call the police on him just being fucking annoying and having his music so loud.
That is a
you can do that because it's noise violation.
Us living in a house, I could call the police on my neighbors for being too loud. So you definitely can call the police on your downstairs neighbor, the person living below you.
Yeah.
The police won't get mad at you. That's what they're protect and serve.
Yeah. And I just don't think they'd come. Not out here.
I think they will.
That was your eyes just got like.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You can call the police out here and they won't come.
I don't think that's
No, it's fucking true.
Where do you live?
I happened? Why would I say no to that? Why would I make that up? Like,
when have you called the police and they haven't come?
And they can choose not to come because of some other reason. And a lot of the times it's just because they're fucking lazy out here.
You should become a police officer out there, and then
We're gonna become Batman. Problem solved.
No, because I don't
Buy
have
a Batman suit and go out to his apartment and threaten him.
Probably wouldn't allow me on it.
Become a vigilante. Have you ever seen Death Wish?
There we go.
Do that.
I'm thinking that I should. I'm thinking that I'm gonna start with my downstairs neighbor.
Okay. Step one,
just bring them. Let's be Machete Girl or something like that, and just bring the machete with you everywhere.
No. This is what you do. Go to the bank with like a couple 20s and get it all in quarters. Then fill a pillowcase with that. And then just go to town. That happens in the movie Death Wish.
Oh my god.
That's an amazing movie. Oh, in that movie, Jeff Goldblum rapes someone. So.
Or take out the mantle brick. That's another idea. Alternative number 3.
You just hit someone with a brick.
Yo, that's why they call me Brick.
Should I go down to my super and be like,
I'll hit you with a brick. Start threatening everyone.
That's not... No. Don't be a vigilante against the super. Be a vigilante against...
This guy downstairs won't turn down his freaking music. He's breaking my shit because of it and giving me a headache. And if you guys don't do something about it, next time he does it, I'm calling the police.
Wait.
Yes, I say do that.
Yes, but here's my next question. Is he doing it at an obscene hour, or is he doing it in the middle of the day?
He's waking me up in the fucking morning at like 9 o'clock.
That's pretty good.
You might not have a claim then.
Yeah. If it was like at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Or before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock is kind of a godly hour, which is why my alternative, which is you call the police next time you hear him beating his girlfriend. That's a more viable option, because A, it's more passive-aggressive, you don't have to deal with it, and B, you also you'll get rid of him for a little bit.
But they won't, you aren't out here, I don't think that they're required to, make an arrest.
I think, okay, so if...
I don't know. They'll at least come out there,
who knows if they'd even come.
I think they come for domestic abuse.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, a noise violation
Just
of not
your
coming.
Head no, just so the listeners know, because we're still recording.
We had gunshots across the street, like not in our fucking neighborhood, like over there.
Okay, how about this?
Like,
move out of Cambodia and move to America, and you won't have this problem.
Huh?
If you didn't live in a third world country, you wouldn't have this problem.
Shut up.
You're describing what happens in Rio de Janeiro on a daily basis.
In the parking lot in front of the liquor store, just people shooting off their fucking gun. We called the police were called by multiple people, just saying this fucking crazy person's shooting off his gun. Police never came.
Was he aiming at anyone?
You're shooting it up in the sky. You're still not allowed to do that.
No, it's still unlawful. It's still an illegal dischargeable weapon.
Most of the Midwest, that you're just allowed to do that.
She's not in the Midwest.
The police did not come.
Is that how you celebrate?
I live in like a city. I don't live in.
Yeah, wait. Did Colorado win a sporting event that day? Because I guess it sounds like a Tuesday. Like the Rockies won the World Series last year, so they gotta be doing pretty good.
Don't come. God.
Yeah, just like in like Brazil and Mexico and like.
And then if that doesn't work, going to the super, I get a pillowcase full of quarters.
Yeah.
Or brick.
Or just a brick.
When he comes out of this.
Yeah, because you can get momentum with the pillowcase if you like swing it around.
Should I like hide in the like we have this like we have like a wall off area where our trash cans are?
Hide in the trash can.
Should I hide in the walled off area? It's quite big.
You can pop out of the trash can.
Surprise, motherfucker! No, but
I could get out of the trash can. They're one of the really big ones.
Instead of getting thrown out with the garbage, then.
Yeah. You're like, oh my gosh, help! Can you help me out, sir? And then.
Help! I got stuck in the trash can.
But then it's a hate crime, isn't it?
No, it's not a hate.
No, it's only a hate crime if you randomly attacked him because of his race
and shouted the N-word while doing it.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
No,
I probably won't assault him, just so everybody
Please
knows.
don't assault him.
I won't.
Follow my idea.
At him.
No. Follow my advice and call the police next time you hear him beating his wife or girlfriend.
Or flood your bathroom.
No, don't. No destruction of property either.
Can't. Our bathrooms are nice. They have the little thingies that make it so you can't go past that point.
Bidet.
The drains. It's not a bidet.
Wait, so I'm gonna backtrack for a second. Your qualification of what a nice bathroom is if it has a drain in the tub. The second drain in the tub.
Yeah. And no,
Okay.
Does every tub have that?
no, I have a really nice, like oval-shaped tub, like a huge one. It's fucking awesome.
A soaking tub.
Yes.
That is nice. I wish tubs were bigger.
Yeah. This is a big tub. I love it. I can almost lay in it. It's awesome.
I haven't been able to lay down in a tub in a long time.
I'm so shorter than you.
That is true.
A lot.
So, back on track.
I forgot we were recording.
Yeah. Back to the Justice League movie.
I'm
I don't know how we can segue that. Like, it
Because
doesn't-
you said, speaking of fucking family, because...
That was it.
No, I said, speaking of fucking families.
No, you said... No. You said, speaking of fucking family, like, I'm having an incest problem that I need your help with.
No, that's not what I said.
That's exactly what
I
it sounded
agree with
like.
Adam. That's what it sounded like. You
Yeah,
need to change the way you talk.
yeah. You didn't put the emphasis in the right
Leave my
place.
accent alone.
No, you
It's
didn't
not
put
the-
the...
it
It's not the
wasn't
accent. It's you didn't put the emphasis in the right place.
Shut up.
But,
If you said, speaking of fucking family, that'd be
Family.
one... That's what you said. You said,
Family.
speaking of fucking family, it's different.
not
You
a
put
big-
the emphasis in the wrong place.
they're also not even a family. It's a guy and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
They have a dog.
Okay, that's not a family.
That's a family.
No,
Maybe
it's
a
not.
dog. Are you sure he's not just hitting a dog and not his wife or girlfriend?
The dog doesn't talk. And
Yeah, the dog's yelling, "Hit me, hit me."
Maybe the wife, like, talks for the dog. She's like a medium.
It was actually super scary. The guy was like, get down, you know, like telling her to like get down on the fucking ground.
And not once did you think, maybe I should call the police.
I called my super.
I probably would have just called the police.
That's in my contract.
Yeah.
I have to do that first. I have to go through them.
Wait, you can't call the...
That sounds illegal as a
Somebody's
contract stipulation.
dying.
That's
No,
really
they're
weird.
supposed to. They're
that's-
supposed to be. They're supposed to call the police because it's not my job.
No, that...
Okay,
Like
okay.
they're supposed to take it from there.
Okay. You made it... When you first said it, I thought you meant, like, no police are allowed on the property or something like that.
No. Like they're supposed to take care of it because it's not my job to take care of it. Because they're like, no. You know, you guys are, you know, our clients. You guys are the people that live here. You're a resident. You guys don't need to take care of that and deal with that. You just let us know, and we'll take care of it.
I don't know, I think this situation is one of those situations where it's excused to call the police, because it could escalate quickly to a situation where death could be happening.
Yeah, maybe.
So I
What's that
think it's
noise?
something... Meanwhile, you're sitting here saying about how you're call... You're talking very loud about how you're going to call the police on your neighbor.
I moved the computer.
What happened? Does that the dog, like, whimpering?
She got scared because I moved the computer. What? She backs up.
Did you hit your dog with the computer?
Yes.
She just gets scared. I don't
can
want to
hear-
hear it.
I can hear it crying in the background.
Yeah, it sounds like you're beating your dog.
Stop.
Okay, that's
No.
enough. Alright, so we want to do first, Star Wars or Justice League? I've been trying to do this for the last half hour, and you guys keep pushing us off topic.
Star Wars.
I thought we were doing Avatar too.
We do have that as well. Avatar
Oh, yeah.
Book 2.
Let's go there.
Alright, let's do that first while I find a good article about this.
Avatar Book Dose.
Right. So, Peter, you watched all of Book 1, right?
I did.
why don't you talk about your thoughts on book 1 before we
But we're doing book 2.
We are,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yes, but we're gonna let Peter.
So I had to do it really fast. Hold on.
You can do it as fast as you want.
30 seconds, go.
Okay. Count while I'm talking.
I'm not gonna count while you're talking.
I am.
Don't do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I've
20
seen
seconds.
some of Avatar, but I never watched all the way through. But I've really enjoyed it so far. And my favorite episode of the first season was The Deserter, because it's like Apocalypse Now, which I'm pretty sure 99.8% of people that Avatar was marketed towards had never watched Apocalypse Now before.
Yeah, in
So,
2006, when I was 10,
really
I did not watch it.
Yeah. I think I saw Apocalypse Now when I was like 10 years old, but I didn't watch Avatar. But then, I think my favorite characters are between Sokka and Toph. I feel like Sokka is a very underrated character.
Toph hasn't shown up yet.
Okay, in book 2, he has.
We're on book 2 now.
Yeah.
No, we weren't. You were doing book 1.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
In book 1, I like
Jesus
Sokka
Christ.
a lot. Because Aang and... usually the main character... I've never liked the main character of a show, really, except for House of Cards.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Aang is annoying.
So, Aang kind of... I like him, but he annoys me.
He grows into his character
What about
more.
Bones?
What?
What?
I was gonna say, what about Bones?
Like the show Bone?
Yes. Like,
I don't really...
I'm a man, I don't watch
the main
Bones.
character in Bones.
I've seen it. I guess it's fine. Or she's fine.
Anyways, keep going.
So
That
I like
shark.
Sokka's really funny, I think. So I like him. But he's not a bender, so I guess he's like considered retarded.
No, that's not until Legend of Korra. They don't openly consider
I was
retarded.
watching it with my girlfriend, and I was just like, what? Because she's seen all of it and all of Legend of Korra, and I was like, all the benders should just like forget this and just get together and slave all the non-benders. And she was just like, oh, okay, well, you'll like Legend of Korra.
Yes. No, you won't. If you're looking for something good out of Legend of Korra, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. Because that whole first... Okay, we're getting a little bit off topic here. That whole first season of Legend of Korra is a huge letdown.
Don't ruin it for me.
I'm not going to. It's a little bit of a letdown. So Book 1's finale ended with... they held off the Fire Nation from the Northern Water Tribe. And
there's a giant... Aang becomes a giant... goes with the ocean spirit.
Thing. Yeah. What's it called? The, what did I say?
I also like how they handle women on this show. Where they don't... It's like you can have a strong female character, and it's not crazy.
Okay, Josie, you can be right back. But the other thing with, how they handle women is they don't shove it down your throat the entire time. That like okay, we get it. Like she's a woman, she also has like autonomy and all that. I think my favorite thing in the book 1 finale is the death of Zhao. And how because he doesn't die from anything other than his own like pride. And like he just like, you know what? He willingly accepts death rather than have Zuko's help.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck you, I'm drowning.
Yeah, like, I win. But then Book 2 picks up where they're trying to find out more about the Avatar State, which is really the first instance of world building in this show since the Spirit World episode in Book 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything else up until this point has all been like, what's it called? From that point on, it's all just basically like, here's the plot going on. Then at the end of Book 1, they start getting into a groove a little bit, where one arc flows into the next. And there's no real filler. Then that continues on through all of Book 2, and they do that very well. Because it's like they go to the place to learn about the Avatar State, which is a disaster, and then they move on to they
learn the history of Omashu.
Yeah, which was cool. And then the Battle of Omashu was cool too, where they rescue Boomy and they fight their way through.
Boomy. And King Boomy's just like, I'm fine, bro.
Yeah.
You can just leave me here.
Yeah.
I really liked that in the first season when you I called it also when I was watching it. I was like, oh, that's his friend.
Yeah.
But it was still nice. I also like in the second season after Toph joins them. It reminded me of in Silicon Valley. Because remember in Silicon Valley when they get the girl programmer?
Yes.
And then they're like, oh, now we have 2 girls, so you can be best friends. That kind of, Katara did that to Toph, kind of.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, now there's a girl here, so we can be girls together. But then Toph is just like, I don't, follow your normal genders.
Yeah.
Well, stereotypical.
The reason why that happened, allegedly, is they originally wrote Toph as a teenage boy, but then they said, wouldn't it be hysterical if we changed this to a blind, preteen girl? But they didn't change any of the dialogue.
I like it. She's one of my... I also like her. She's one of my favorite characters, because she's really funny.
She is, yeah.
Like when, she's drowning, and then Tayoshi, or whatever her name is...
Suki?
That's close. Saves her, and then she thinks it's Sokka, so she it's like, thank you, Sokka, and she kisses her on the cheek, and then she finds out, and she's like, you just let me drown now.
Yeah. But when they're in the air, it's like, look, there it is. It's like that's what it sounds like when you find it. It's funny because and that's another thing, is it handles the fact that she's blind in a very good way, because she's not mopey about the fact that she's blind and she doesn't see it as a disability. She uses it to her advantage. Yeah, and she actually can see more than all of them can, because she basically has sonar. Yeah. Then, so they get to Ba Sing Se, and I think one of my favorite episodes of the series is Tales of Ba Sing Se, which is... I was going to say that. It's little more than a, what's it called? Like a clip show. Mm-hmm. But... the episode with the one part with Iroh is, I think, the best. It's easily one of the best moments in the entire show. Is Iroh's story in that. When he goes and sings at his son's grave. Yeah, that was really sad. Yeah. That was really intense. Yeah, I was not expecting that when I saw it. Yeah, because he's always so happy. I really like the backstory of all the characters, especially Iroh. Yeah, they do a very good job of actually developing even the villains. And even in the season, we see Zuko transition a little bit, where he's not a full villain. He's just kind of an antagonistic force who's not really in it to, save the, or help the Fire Nation. He's really there to help himself and regain... Because, remember, he's 16. He's not an adult. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's doing it for any reason. He just wants his father's favor again. And then Iroh's just like, this is, no matter what you do, this is not going to work out. Exactly. So just come drink tea. Yeah, right. It'll all be okay. So what episode did you get up to? Right now, I'm on Appa's Lost Days. Okay, that episode is a little bit filler. It definitely is, because I'm looking at the episode list, so I know where we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And for that, it starts with in this special episode. So, well, it won a humanitarian award for showcasing mistreatment of animals. Oh my god! But the thing is, the episode at the end of the episode is important. I'm gonna watch it, but right, because that's the thing with season 2. Even the filler is important to the plot and character development. Bitter Work can largely be considered a filler episode because nothing happens. But but really what it does is it explores Zuko's conflict within himself as a character. I like the Avatar Day episode. That's a good one. Yes, that's not. But then the finale is it's one of my favorite season finales of all time. And you said we can spoil it, right, for you? Yeah, because I think I know what happens already, and I'm gonna watch it anyway. So it's so. What happens is, after, the Ba Sing Se arc takes, I think 6 or 7 episodes. Yeah, that's why it's much different than the first season, because in the first season they get to Northern Water Temple, and he learns waterbending, and then it's okay, then they fight the Night Fire Nation and leave, in a couple episodes. But they get to Ba Sing Se pretty early in the season. Halfway through the season they get there. For the entire season. Yeah, so so they get to Ba Sing Se, and they then, they see that things are a little bit weird there, and it turns out that they're brainwashing people. Yeah, I saw that.
already.
Yeah,
which is
they
crazy.
were brainwashing people into not talking about the war because they didn't want anyone to. It's like a weird utopia. So then they stopped that, and what's it called? By the way, remember that about Ba Sing Se, because that comes back not in this show in Legend of Korra. It comes back in the play. Weirdly.
Hypnotics.
No, not the hypnosis, but the catacombs. The catacombs where they were holding Appa and where they were doing the brainwashing. That comes back in the play.
Okay.
But like, so they do the whole brainwashing, like, weird arc on that. Then they come back to what's it called? Then they're trying to meet the Earth King and tell him like what happened. Because the whole thing is they're trying to, like, the Earth King doesn't want, not that the Earth King doesn't want here, but like, what's his name? The head of the Dai Li doesn't want him, the Earth King, to find out, because he kind of gets
Long Fang.
Right, he kind of gets like the regent in control, or he's acting in regency of the king.
Because the king has no idea what's going on. Like, he's just a puppet.
And we also find out that through the entire like war that's been going on, the Earth Kingdom hasn't been fighting in it at all.
Oh, that's what I was Another thing I noticed is whenever they're going through the Earth Kingdom, like, even though this has been a 100-year-long war, like, a lot of people are just kind of fine. Like, no one really sees. Like, some towns are like devastated, and other towns are just like, whatever.
We're occupied, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that comes into play leading into one of the things that leads into Legend of Korra is like the Fire Nation. They want the Fire Nation to leave the sovereign lands of the Earth Kingdom, but like it's been hundreds of years that people have started families that are like cross-bending families, and it's like, what, you want all the Firebenders to leave now? So that's one of the arcs in the comics. That's like the interlude between the two. That's one of the arcs, is trying to like maintain peace while moving out the Fire Nation. So they meet the Earth King, and they have to convince the Earth King of all that. Then at the end of that episode, the Kyoshi Warriors arrive in Ba Sing Se. But it's not the Kyoshi Warriors. It's Ty Lee, Azula, and what's her name? And May. Yeah, because at the end of Appa's Lost Days, they they fight the Kyoshi Warriors, but we don't see what happens. And then it cuts at the end of this one to the Kyoshi Warriors arriving, and it's Azula in the makeup. Yeah, she's really good.
She's really cool.
Keep in mind, she's 14.
Pretty cool.
She's Zuko's younger sister. And keep that in mind in the finale too, because like that's one of the big things in the finale. Is like, this is a 14-year-old girl, not an adult.
Well, they're all adults, basically. It's kind of like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like in the book Game of Thrones, they're all like 12 and 14 years old.
Right. So then, what happens is the Earth Kingdom has a coup from within, from what's left of the Dai Li, working with Azula and all that, and them, to take down the Earth Kingdom from within. Meanwhile, Aang goes off to Aang goes off to learn about how to master the Avatar state. Sokka goes off to meet his dad, and Toph goes off to meet is actually kidnapped to go be brought back to her parents. But remember the boulder and the other guy.
That's played by Mick Foley, who's an actual WWE wrestler.
Oh, that's cool.
Boulder. That's what I was like, where do I recognize his voice from? And I looked it up, and I was like, no way, because he's awesome.
Yeah, so they go off, and all their separate ways, and then they all come back for the finale. And the fight in the catacombs of Old Ba Sing Se is, I think, my favorite fight in the entire series, more than the final fight at the end, or any number of the final fights at the end. This one is the best, and then it ends. Aang actually dies in the final episode of the season, and they escape Ba Sing Se. Like, everyone's still alive with the exception of Aang, and they remember that spirit water from the beginning of the season. They use that to resurrect him. So they resurrect him, and then they just, them all leaving. It's like the Earth. And then they just acknowledge the Earth Kingdom fell to the Fire Nation, and that's how the season ends. And that's why I think it's my favorite season finale of any TV show, like, ever. because it ends very dark, and it does it very well too. It's not like overly dark just for effect, and it leads very well in the book 3. Now the other thing is that could also be because if you watch the show live, there was a sizable hiatus because Nickelodeon did not like Avatar starting with the middle of season 2. Because at that point it became more serialized. Like, you can tell that, right? From watching it? Because you're watching it for your first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the episodes from book 1 you can kind of show out of order and in rerun. But, like, book 2 you can't really do that, because a lot of them are multi-part episodes, a lot of them fall into an arc. And then book 3, the first half of book 3 you can do that, but then the second half you really can't, because it's all in arc, and there are certain changes to the cast that would be weird if you watched them out of order. So then, that's why they started falling out of favor with Nickelodeon. So they started doing really weird promotion and scheduling for the show, where it's like they would show it not for like 6 months, but then do a spurt of 5 episodes, one a night, for a week.
That is very strange.
Like, and then Legend of Korra got even worse, where it's like you heard nothing for 18 months, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna dump it all on Nick.com. So, I can't hear you.
Who, me or Megan? I mean, Josie.
Josie.
Wait, why did that happen?
Because if you watch Nickelodeon, all of their TV shows, they don't have a single TV show now that they show in reruns that is serialized, meaning all the episodes follow a set arc. Where it's like multi-part episodes, stuff like that. It's shows like SpongeBob and like Fairly Odd Parents, like iCarly, which are all largely non sequitur, which means you can show them out of order and in rerun constantly, which means you can use them cheaply to fill your schedule. So like shows like this, and especially Legend of Korra, you couldn't do that with because of the fact that they was so story centric, and it was overarching story centric. So if you go like Cartoon Network now, shows like Steven Universe, which was canceled, I think, and like certain arcs of Adventure Time are never shown in rerun because of the fact that they're multi-episode arcs. Like the episode where they with the weird alternate universe, where they ended the season and they picked it up, that's never shown. The one with Finn's dad, that's never shown because it's a weird continuity issue.
Oh.
Yeah, so shows with continuity tend not to get picked up on children's networks anymore, which is why Voltron is not on Nickelodeon, like the Voltron show from the mid-2000s. It's on Netflix. Same thing with Dragons, like How to Train Your Dragon TV show, that was on Cartoon Network, is now on Netflix as well. Because continuity shows...
It's so cute!
I kind of want to watch it, because they don't shy away from death, I've heard. Like, they're not afraid to kill characters off.
It is so cute. There's like a super fucking psycho guy in it. It's awesome.
Like, I want more animated TV shows with continuity. Because like, animation can be used to show a lot more.
You should watch Attack on Titan.
I tried watching Attack on Titan, and then I like stopped because it's not a show I can watch. Well, maybe now I can. Now there's a dub, but back when it was only sub, I had to devote all my time to watching because I don't speak Japanese, so I had to watch it with the subtitles.
I learned how to speak Japanese from watching that show.
No, you didn't.
Yes, konnichiwa.
Arigato,
Boom.
Mr. Roboto.
We know someone who actually thought that, but let's not name him.
What?
We know someone who actually did think that they were going to learn Japanese from watching anime, but let's not name him.
Oh, okay.
Let's yeah. Let's not name him.
He's so weird.
He's on this podcast, right?
No, he's not.
His name is Evan.
No.
He's so weird.
No. Anyway, so because we spent so long on the marital issue going on in Josie's building, let's skip right to E3 and we might cover Justice League depending on how E3 goes. So, Josie, why don't you start off with that?
I don't know where we left off. You had the
Just
list.
ignore what we did last time. Just start off wherever you want to. Whatever you want to talk about. Peter, how about you start off? Because you read the list, right?
What is it?
The E3 list I sent you?
List.
Hold on, I'm opening it. There was something I liked. There's only like one thing that I liked.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is if you didn't watch the trailer, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a list of titles.
There was like one thing that I was like interested in. Hold on.
Let me pull up my list. The list I have too. I'll be the one who talks about the PlayStation VR and.
I thought the South Park was funny because it's a funny title.
Yeah, it is.
The Shattered But Whole.
I'm excited about that one. I think it'll be funny. And I'll probably pre-order so that way I can get the first one too.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking too. I don't want to it's not that I want to play the first one, but if you give it to me for free, I'll play it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's one that I'm already gonna buy anyways.
Yeah. This one, the first one was you remember the arc on South Park for Black Friday?
Yeah.
That was the lead into the game.
Yes, I remember.
Right. So this one doesn't follow that story. This one is Coon and Friends instead of the Game of Thrones parody. So it's gonna be slightly different.
Okay.
I
own the first one.
I don't know.
Or my brother owns it.
Oh well. I'll talk about the PlayStation VR. If you have not pre-ordered it already, you're shit out of luck. It's already completely sold out in pre-order.
Have you?
I have not. No. It's only $400. The PlayStation VR, and it comes out October 13th. Now, okay, let me rephrase that. If you don't have a PlayStation 4, you need to get that as well, which is another $500.
No.
If you do, what?
I said no.
Okay. If you like playing video games and have an Xbox, you're wrong.
Why?
Because if your console devotes half its memory to running a cable box as well, it can't possibly run good games. Also, name one exclusive game coming out for the Xbox that I can't also get on my computer. One. Just one.
I don't fucking know. Leave me alone. All I know is that when I play on the Xbox, I'm decent, but when I play on the PlayStation 4, I fucking rock. Because everybody on the PlayStation 4 sucks dick.
Okay. Anyway. Also, it does not come with the PlayStation Move controllers or the PlayStation Camera, which are also required to use this. The kit of that is like an extra $60. It did show off a slight sizzle reel of games that are coming out for it. First of which is there is a Batman Arkham VR game coming exclusively to PlayStation VR. And that's going to be, it seems pretty cool. It doesn't look like more than a tech demo, though, based on what they showed at E3. On the floor, I mean, not in the trailer. The trailer is just Mark Hamill talking while they show the Batsuit. It's like they're not doing a Batman game for VR, and it turns out they are. Then there's also, if you played Star Wars Battlefront, there is a Space Battle VR segment that's coming exclusively to PlayStation. Final Fantasy 15 will have VR exclusive stuff, and there's a game called Farpoint, which I did not write down. This was a little unclear because they went right from the VR to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare clip. I don't know if Infinite Warfare is going to have a VR component, but it could. And I think the most interesting thing of the VR that I saw was Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
I saw that too. I like Resident Evil.
Did you see the VR clip from it?
No.
It's scary because it's not jump scare scary, but it's got that feeling of dread that something's about to happen through the entire thing. which is what I like. If I'm gonna play horror, I don't really play horror that often. Then there were a few other things. They announced that Crash Bandicoot, Crash 2, and Crash Warped were all getting HD remasters. And if you pre-order Infinite Warfare, the special edition, you get the Modern Warfare remaster a month early. I'm still debating that. Because I want to play Modern Warfare remaster, but I don't want to play Infinite Warfare in the slightest. The two biggest surprise announcements to come out of Sony were Kojima and Norman Reedus originally were teamed up with Guillermo del Toro to do a Silent Hill game for Microsoft a few years back. And that was a demo they showed off at E3. I think it was like 2014 they showed it off. That got canceled. However, Kojima is teaming up with Norman Reedus to create a game called Death Stranding, which we know literally nothing about, and it's a horror game. Which the trailer was really weird. It showed a baby like crying naked with its umbilical cord still attached on the beach, with Norman Reedus like naked next to it. And it was weird music playing. And when it started, you hear like clicking, and I'm like, "Is that?" I thought it was Silent Hill. So you know that clicking that was on the radio. To tell you where the things were.
Yeah.
I thought that was what it was, but it was not. And the other big surprise was a Spider-Man game that's PlayStation exclusive. The costume is absolute dog shit. Have you seen this costume?
No.
It's not good. The good thing to come out of it is the gameplay looks really good based on what they showed. It looks like a level of intensity that you would see from an Arkham game in terms of how well they show the fighting and all that. It's open world Manhattan. It's running on the same engine as Ratchet and Clank. There's no origin story. And let me see if I can find a picture of the costume for you. Okay, the giant white spider on the front of it. I have a... Here we go. That link will have a picture of the costume. Or it actually gets popped up.
It did. Hold on. I clicked on it though. Looks like jeans.
Yeah. And if you look at his chest, there's that giant white spider across the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
I literally said like, ew. Like, who thought that was a good idea? So yeah, that was what Sony did. Now, Josie is into Bethesda games, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about Fallout and Skyrim?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So I'm excited for the new not the new Skyrim, but the Skyrim remastered. They'll be releasing it. What is it for the
PlayStation 4
consoles,
and Xbox One.
right? Okay.
And if you have PC version of Skyrim, it automatically updates to it.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
It's gotta be the complete edition, though.
Oh. Well, anyways, the graphics are going to be better. It's going to be fucking beautiful. And you'll be able to get all of the mods and DLCs when you buy it. So you won't have to buy them separately. It'll come with it. And then remind me what the names of the new Fallout 4 DLCs are coming out.
Yeah, let me bring up that list. I have that too. Fallout 4's DLCs coming out are...
What's the names?
Workshop.
I don't know what that one is.
Vaultec.
Oh, you'll be able to create your own vaults in settlements. So that'll be pretty freaking cool. I don't know if they're going to create... I don't know how they're going to do that because vaults are usually underground, so I don't know if they're going to make it so you can put things in the ground in settlements, all of them, or if they're going to come up with a new settlement that's specific for the vault. I don't know. I'm excited though. I like doing the settlement part of it. It's pretty neat.
And the third one is Nuka World.
Oh, Nuka World is it's gonna be a raiders camp, a raider camp, somewhere in the middle of downtown, in the middle of Boston area, and I think that it's gonna be similar to on the new, in the DLC that was just released on what's that island's name?
Hawaii.
No.
Puerto Rico.
Far Harbor. On Far Harbor,
right.
where you're dealing with the Sorry.
No cursing on the show.
I'm not saying sorry for that.
We've done a
for
great,
not knowing fucking words.
We've done a great job of that this episode.
Yep.
Is that a sarcastic comment?
Yes. Jesus Christ.
It's gonna be similar to dealing with the who are the children of Adam, where you can choose to be like part of them, or you can kill them all and take their shit. It'll be awesome, but it'll be with raiders, so they're probably gonna ask you to kill people a lot and like cut them up. It'll be cool.
Then do you have any thoughts on... let me get that all Bethesda talked about. Bethesda also had... Prey is coming out under theirs. Elder Scrolls Online is getting 2 big updates. Fallout Shelter is coming to PC. And there's Doom DLC coming for the new Doom game, but that's going to be multiplayer expansions only.
Oh, have you guys got the chance to play the new Doom game?
No.
Nope.
It's really freaking cool. Well, I mean, it's really set up the same kind of way where you go into an area and it spawns all the bad guys you gotta kill and stuff. And then you touch something and then that spawns even more. They come out of fucking thin air. But, like, the world is beautiful. And the aliens are freaking creepy as hell and gross. It's awesome.
Yeah, I want to play it at some point. I just haven't had the money or the time. No.
Boo-hoo.
There were 3 Star Wars games shown at E3. Battlefront 2, coming out in 2017. Which, when it was announced, I texted Peter. Battlefront 2 was announced for 2017, and I never thought I'd be disappointed by that statement. Visceral Games from Dead Space and Dante's Inferno is partnering with EA to make a Star Wars game, and Respawn Entertainment is also making a Star Wars game. No titles or information has been given yet. Xbox had... I think Microsoft misunderstood what E3 is used for. What they did was they did more of a consumer electronics show kind of showcase, where they showed off more integration with PC. And if I have an Xbox, I don't want to see that. If I have an Xbox, I want to see what's it called? Like, here's what you're gonna give me that I can play here, and why I should buy an Xbox over a PlayStation and a computer, or a Wii and a computer, or anything like that. Which what the other companies did. Like, the other major first-party companies, Sony and Nintendo, both showed off their exclusive games to only play on their console. Microsoft showed off integration with Windows 10 at length.
Ooh,
which means
exciting.
Many of their games are not only on Xbox One, but also on Windows 10, such as Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, Minecraft is cross-platform with PC now. A bunch of their indie games are also on PC. Tekken 7, Dead Rising 4, Scalebound, State of Decay, Halo Wars 2, why am I going to buy an Xbox this year? If I can play all these games on my computer, why am I going to buy an Xbox? Then on top of that, they announced at the beginning of their show they were going to be doing, there's the Xbox One S, which is a slim version of the Xbox One, coming out later this year. And then next year, there's going to be the Xbox, it's called Project Scorpio, which is one of the highest video game consoles ever announced. But yeah, I think Microsoft may have mishandled this a little bit. Because they spent a considerable amount of time on Minecraft, and then it said, okay, we'll talk about this more at Minecon, and you'll find out more then. Meanwhile, Nintendo didn't understand the point of E3 either, and showed off 2 games. They did a day of streaming on Treehouse, which is what they did in the last few years, rather than do a presentation at the show floor like the other companies do. They do a Nintendo Direct, followed by Nintendo Treehouse, which is just 24-hour coverage of them playing games. That was a bad idea. Because what they showed off was 2 games, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Which would have been cool if they showed off stuff that wasn't already announced in the previous 3 trailers for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Breath of the Wild actually does look pretty good. It's coming out for the Wii U and the NX in March. This is the first Zelda game to have technology, because he has like a weird tablet thing with him that has an interactive map. There's customizable clothing, and for the first time ever, Link can jump and climb.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's no hearts in this game, just a hunger system.
That's dumb.
And it's a giant open world that you can do anything in any order, much like the first Legend of Zelda. Like, you don't have to follow a set order, it just makes it easier to do it one way over another. Pokemon has... Well, let's talk about the other things that they did. There's new amiibo coming, for anyone that cares. I'm not going to list them out, because I'm not going to dignify that. Paper Mario Color Splash is coming out October 7th, and Mario Party Star Rush, in case Mario Party has been beaten to death, November 4th. Then, Pokemon Sun and Moon continues to casualize the Pokemon game, which, I know it's a children's series, but come on. You continue to get experience for catching Pokemon, not just killing them, as it was in the previous games up until X and Y. Outfit customization's back. There's a new four-player battle mode, where it's 4 players all fight each other in a battle royale. It's called Battle Royale, and it's just 4 people all fighting each other. Once you battle a Pokemon once to find out its move type, underneath your moves on the bottom screen, it shows you the type effectiveness now. So it tells you, like, not very effective or super effective.
That seems like hand-holding.
Yeah. Then your Pokédex talks to you, because it's inhabited by a Rotom, and it tells you information about the world as you're going along, which is different. When you catch a Pokemon, the registration screen shows evolutions of the Pokemon that you haven't caught yet, to tell you this Pokemon evolves. Retrospectively, that would have made Ruby and Sapphire very easy, because you don't see Feebas in the game at all, and it would have told you that Pokemon exists. Then the stats, attack, defense, and all that are color coded, and if you tap on the bottom screen their Pokemon, it'll tell you what their stat changes are that you've used on them. And it also shows you their entire team. So again, hand-holding. You can check the move info right in the battle without having to go back into another menu. They read at the bottom screen. You can see the other trainer in the background of the battle. The new region's made up of 5 islands, and I think that's basically it. 'Cause I don't really care about all the rest. Oh, there's now full analog movement instead of just 8 grid, which was in the previous game. So yeah. Anyone have any other final thoughts, or what did you want to talk about with E3 that you thought was interesting?
No, just that the South Park name was funny.
Okay.
I didn't really care about any of the other games. I
Yeah,
guess Legend of Zelda. I like Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, if I were you, I would watch some of the gameplay for it. It looks pretty fun. Like, I've never been a big Legend of Zelda fan, but this game looks interesting to me. And yeah, so, one final note before we finish off tonight. Netflix announced what they're going to be bringing in the next month. So starting today, if you go on Netflix right now, you can watch all 3 of the Back to the Future movies. That's now on Netflix. You can watch Batman 66, the movie. You can watch Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, Blade 2, Catwoman if you're into shitty movies. What else? Harold the movie, The Italian Job, all the Lethal Weapon movies.
Oh, sweet.
Mean Girls, Scooby-Doo 2002. Turner and Hooch, Working Girl, and you can watch season 1 of The Shannara Chronicles, which is MTV's attempt at Game of Thrones, by adapting a book series to what's it called? To a fantasy book series to TV. Other big things coming this month, Stranger Things season 1. I guess that's something people are interested in.
Oh yeah, that looks like it could be okay.
A love letter to the supernatural classics of the 80s, Stranger Things is the story of a young boy who vanishes in thin air. As friends and family local police search for the answers, they're drawn to an extraordinary mystery involving top-secret government experiments, terrifying supernatural forces, and one strange little girl, starring Winona Ryder. And there's one other big addition to Netflix. On 7/22, BoJack Horseman comes back for season 3. So that might be the next TV show we do season of, is BoJack Horseman.
So it's so good.
Yeah. We do have to still do Jessica Jones, and in September, Luke Cage.
I thought about that.
But yeah, we do have to... BoJack Horseman's an easy one.
I have like 2 episodes left of Jessica Jones.
Yeah. But BoJack Horseman's an easy one, because it's half-hour episodes. I could probably knock that out in a day. Also, Rick and Morty I gotta watch, too. Well, I gotta do Rick and Morty, too. That show's hilarious. Any excuse to rewatch the show. Did Josie leave?
I don't know.
I guess looked up at Skype for the first time in a half hour, and she's just gone. Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess she's done. So we will be back. The next episode is on the 21st of July, and that's gonna be what's it called? It's either 21st or 20th. Let me look at my list actually. I think I moved it for ease of us to actually have time to watch it. For Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the director's cut. We're also gonna finish off Avatar: The Last Airbender with book 3. Where do I have this? Right, the 19th. Okay, so it is the 19th. It's our next episode. We are not going to be doing, we didn't do a commentary for Independence Day the other day. We were going to do that, but we decided until we can figure out how to not have dead air while we do it, we're going to put that on hiatus. Because we need to work on not having dead air. However, we will be doing the spoilers ahead for Star Trek Beyond on the 21st, I believe that is. So we can start coordinating that like tomorrow because the tickets are on sale.
Right.
Then we will be doing, in order, Terminators 1 through Salvation on the 2nd of August. August 4th, we have Suicide Squad, spoilers ahead. Tremors on the 9th, The Big Short on the 16th, Lilo and Stitch on the 23rd, Beetlejuice on the 30th, and Friday Night Lights on September 6th. Which means we are 5 episodes away from the start of football season. That is an amazing feeling. and then back to school on the 13th. We had to do our first postponement. The room will no longer be on the 20th. The 20th is now Captain America: Civil War, because that was announced to be coming out on DVD this week. Every time they do these announcements, I'm always shocked that they feel the need to do them. Like, look what we're doing. We're putting this movie that everyone loved on DVD. Are you shocked? No, it happens every time. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks. But yeah, we'll be back on the 19th with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Hopefully the director's cut fixes the movie a little bit.
I think
Wait, she's still here? Where did you go?
My computer died.
Oh, okay. Because we're like, oh, did she leave?
The episode's over.
You missed part of it.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, we didn't even notice because I had Skype minimized. I just noticed that what usually does, it cycles between your face and Peter's face in the corner. Because I have Skype minimized, I have everything else up, and I noticed it hadn't cycled in like 10 minutes.
It didn't take 10 minutes. It took me all of like 3 minutes to get this shit turned back on.
But yeah, so we'll be back then with all of that. And Josie, you actually do have to watch the director's cut of Batman v Superman, all 3.5 hours of it.
Nope. I don't want to watch that movie at all.
Why?
Because I don't really like Batman. I only like his villain.
Okay. Hold on.
Because he's fucking stupid. Like, there's nothing cool about him. He has no powers. He's just super fucking rich, and he's a big old bitch.
Do you like Iron Man? Do you like Iron Man, yes or no?
But Iron Man's funny.
No. Yes or no? Do you like Iron Man?
That's completely different. Iron Man is funny.
Batman's
and,
way
like,
better
does
than
shit. Batman's not
Batman.
funny.
Batman would kick the shit out of Iron Man.
Like yeah, but he acts like a pissed off little bitch all the time.
Okay.
He doesn't know how to get shit done. And he's not funny. The only thing that's good about him is that he's got really cool villains. Superman is a little bitch who can die from a fucking rock.
That's a little bit weird.
If so many people can get their fucking hands on it, because it's always his downfall. Like,
okay,
it's
we could debate more of this next week. But the movie does finally. What?
We can debate this when we watch the Batman movie.
Yeah, this movie does settle once and for all the greatest superpower of all time. It's prep time. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was very happy about, that Zack Snyder managed to put his massive circle jerk of Superman aside for a second and actually acknowledge that Batman would kick the shit out of Superman if he had like 10 minutes of prep time. Like, thank you, Zack Snyder.
It was a long time of prep time.
Yeah, okay, but I don't think Batman needs that much time to figure out how to kill Superman.
He had to train because he was out of commission.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying, like, okay, if it was easier for him to get his hands on the kryptonite, it would not have needed to take that long.
No, there's a whole, like, training montage.
Yeah, I know. And if you're looking forward to seeing Ben Affleck's butt in the director's cut, you will see that.
I'm not.
Yep. We've already seen his dick in Gone Girl, so. And on that note...
Did you like that?
Nope.
I walked in and he had paused, like, on the screen.
Yeah, here we go. No,
It's okay, we accept you for how you are.
We accept your choice to be gay.
Unfortunately, the demographics don't tell me if we have any gay listeners. That's not reported, so I don't know if we offended anyone.
Why
Well, I want to know if we offended anyone.
So you can hit them up.
Well, I want to know if we offended anyone. Or Megan offended anyone. Or Josie offended anyone.
I just told you that we accept you no matter what.
Oh, no. It was Peter who said the choice. Not Josie. It was Peter this time. for a change.
I did it for a joke, so it's okay.
The
okay, never mind.
the only things I offended today were the Jews.
And black people.
Yeah.
I didn't offend the blacks.
You can't say the blacks.
Why are you laughing so hard, Dick? Fine, the African Americans.
That's not right either.
You can't say the. That's the problem.
Yeah, saying the is the problem.
Okay. It doesn't mean the same thing because I say the Walmart. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the Walmart.
Yeah, because it's like a inanimate object. That's what it makes it sound like.
Yes.
Like you're supposed to say, like you could say black people.
I just mean that I put the in front of a lot of shit.
Would you say the whites?
Yes.
Okay.
That's wrong too.
That's so wrong. You would just say white people or black people.
Yes.
The whites and the blacks.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna cut this off now because we're
and like the Jews.
okay. We're gonna stop now before Josie starts a race riot. We'll be back in a few weeks with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Good night.
Bye.